radio today, and he ain't afraid to say what he's thinking. It's the Michael K. Show on 880 ESPN Radio.
And a good afternoon, everybody. This is indeed the Michael K. Show. We thank you for joining us on this Tuesday. It is October 28th, 2025. Me and you for two. Those are the rules. Every Monday through Friday from 1 to 3, the fastest 2 hours in sports talk radio. Now, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, the New York ESPN New York YouTube channel, you might look at me and go, wow, Michael looks a little fatigued. He looks a little tired. And you know why? Because I am. That's why. Because I actually stayed up for the entire 18 innings, almost 7 hours of baseball. And I'm not complaining. I loved it. But, you know, when you crawl into bed at 3:05, you're going to be a little tired the next day. But I am not going to rob you at all. You are going to be so happy because I'm going to give you top effort and energy, because that's what I'm about. And I'm watching that game yesterday, and Ohtani is just, he's on a different level. He's on a different level. But there's one thing that happened in yesterday's game that makes me concerned about the sport that I love the most. So Ohtani was on base 9 times. 9 times. And John Schneider, the manager of the Blue Jays, did the right thing, and he intentionally walked him 4 times. And then the last time he came up, it wasn't an intentional walk, pretty darn close. So it was 5 walks. He had 4 extra base hits, a couple of doubles, 2 home runs. On base 9 times. And I'm sitting there, and I've spoken about this every now and then on the show. I'm sitting there, I'm going, what other sport actually has rules that allow you to take the game away from the greatest player? The player that, if you're a sport, you want to highlight. You want that player on the pedestal. You want him on the biggest stage in the biggest moments. But yesterday wasn't allowed. And it was smart by Schneider. I am not criticizing John Schneider. The reason the game went 18 innings is that Schneider was smart enough to intentionally walk Ohtani 4 times because they couldn't get him out yesterday. Just watching the beginning of the game, Max Scherzer had nothing. He had nothing in his toolkit to get out Ohtani. Nothing. At times, when he is locked in, he's unpitchable. You cannot pitch to him. You can't. But let's look at the other sports. So let's say Connor McDavid in hockey. Is there a rule or a coach's strategy that would not allow Connor McDavid to participate in the third quarter of the 7th game of the Stanley Cup? Now, you can say, well, you can concentrate defense on him, try to keep the puck away from him. But for the most part, Connor McDavid will be involved in how that game is decided because he's going to use his physical greatness and hockey savant level to get the puck and make something happen. And if he doesn't, well, he doesn't. Then the defense did a good job, but at least he had the opportunity. Now let's move to the NBA. And the reigning MVP in the NBA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. In the last game of the NBA Finals last year, was there a strategy that could be employed by Rick Carlisle where you would not allow the ball in the hands of SGA? No, there's not. Again, you could double team him. You could try to keep the ball away from him, but he's going to have the opportunity to get the ball and impact the game. Let's go to football. Patrick Mahomes. 4th quarter, Super Bowl. You cannot do anything to keep the ball out of the hands of Patrick Mahomes. You could play tight defense, you could blitz him, whatever the case may be, but still his greatness could shine through because he has the opportunity to play the game. Ohtani yesterday was not allowed to play the game. He was not allowed to impact the game. So, in essence, not even in essence, in fact, you would not allow arguably the greatest player in baseball to impact the game. You can say, well, being on base, an intentional walk, that impacts the game. Not really. He's not allowed to swing the bat. You're taking the bat out of his hands. You're not even throwing him 4 pitches out of the strike zone. You wave the 4 fingers, and that's it. And I think it's absolute sheer brilliance by John Schneider, because he's one of the few people who had the guts and has the smarts that he does that to Aaron Judge, too. Why am I going to let the best player on the field beat me? Why? I'll let somebody else beat me. And it's not like you get an easy pass by giving a free pass to Ohtani. You've got to face Mookie Betts, and then you've got to face Freddie Freeman, who eventually won the game with his walk-off home run in the 18th inning. There's got to be something that you can do that this is not allowed. And I don't want to legislate strategy out of a game. Again, within the rules, Schneider, I think, made the right move. But for the good of the game, is that the right move? Oh, you're the best. You can't swing. Sorry, go to first base. Oh, you're one of the greatest players who ever lived. Nope, we're not going to let you show that. Go to first base. It's mind-numbingly counterproductive to the popularity of the sport. It's like you buy tickets to a Barbra Streisand concert and you don't allow her to sing. They didn't allow Ohtani to sing in extra innings. He was not allowed to hit the note, and nobody hits notes like Ohtani. And please don't tell me, well, you can't change the rules. Well, really, you've limited the amount of throws that you could make the first base, right? You've limited that to 2. So imagine what Ricky Henderson would do if you limited to 2 throws over to first base. He'd steal 180 bases. He would. When Ricky Henderson was playing, you could throw over 100 times. So there's got to be something that baseball could do to tweak the rules where, I don't know, the most you could do is intentionally walk a guy twice. The most you could do. Because you're taking the entertainment value out of the entertainment. People did not tune into Fox last night so that they could actually watch Ohtani not swing the bat. Now, let's go to a bigger question. And I think this is interesting. People are concerned about the Dodgers and the money they spend and how it's unfair to baseball and their haves and have-nots. Got it. Understand. It's a point of contention. It's certainly a point of discussion. But here is the biggest threat to Major League Baseball. The Dodgers have the greatest farm system in the history of professional sports. It's almost like the old Kansas City A's used to be to the Yankees. And the Kansas City A's were a major league team. But they traded everybody to the Yankees, including Roger Maris. Yankees needed something. They went to the Kansas City A's and they got it. The Dodgers farm system is the entire country of Japan. There's no way to fight it. Every great Japanese player wants to play for the Dodgers. The weather, the proximity to Japan. You can't counteract that. And the Dodgers have countless amounts of money. Countless amounts. So you can't defeat that if you're another team. Just think about the arc of the Yankees, how it would have changed if they signed Ohtani, because they thought they were going to sign Ohtani when he was put up for bid from the Japanese League, way back when he signed with the Angels. They thought it was a done deal. He surprised everybody by going to the Angels. And the Yankees pivoted, and they made the trade for Giancarlo Stanton. Coming off a 59 home run season. At the time, it looked like a good pivot. It doesn't turn out to be a great pivot. Although he's been outstanding in the postseason, they have not won a World Series with him. It limits what they could do. You're taking somebody who can't run now, and you put him in the lineup, and you tie up the DH spot. Now, they don't pay an exorbitant amount of money. I think this year it's under $20 million coming up because the Marlins have to pick up, I think, $10 million of the contract. So in that sense, it works. It doesn't work in modern-day baseball. You can't clog up the bases like that. And you can't have a guy who essentially can't play the field. And that's what Giancarlo is. If the Yankees had gotten Ohtani, maybe the history of baseball changes. Because the Yankees, they were desperate to get Yamamoto. Desperate to get Yamamoto. And they bid more per year than the Dodgers did. Yamamoto ended up signing with the Dodgers 12 years, $325. I think that's essentially what the Mets offered too. The Yankees offered 10 years at $300. So the Yankees with $30 million a year. That's not what the Dodgers and the Mets offered. The Yankees never had a chance. The Mets never had a chance. Yamamoto wanted to play with Ohtani and wanted to play with the Dodgers, wanted to play on the West Coast, which is 5.5 hours closer to Japan than New York is. But I don't come here just complaining. That's not what I'm about. I got solutions. What you've got to do if you're Major League Baseball is that you have to have a draft. You have to have a draft of the Japanese players. You can't let the Dodgers sign every single great Japanese player. Sasaki. Other teams had better bids than the Dodgers. They cleared more room. He went to the Dodgers. Now, I know there's only 26 spots on the team, but the Dodgers have learned to monetize the Japanese players. They have cornered the market. For the while, it looked like the Yankees did. Matsui was great and enjoyed his time here and still lives here. Tanaka was outstanding. Now, there were some that had bad experiences. Arabu, Kayagawa, I understand that. But the most recent Yankees that came from Japan had great experiences, and Matsui won an MVP in the World Series. But now the pipeline goes from Japan to the Dodgers. And that's the part that's unfair now, because you're not just drafting players. You're getting finished products that might be better than the players that there are in America right now. Yamamoto's a beast. Sasaki struggled at the beginning of the year. Now he's found a role as a closer. And Ohtani is one of one. That's the unfair aspect that Major League Baseball has to address. Not every great Japanese player should be able to go to the Dodgers. I've always thought there should be an international draft anyway. Out of the Dominican, out of Venezuela, everybody should be eligible for the draft. Why do the American kids get locked into one team and locked into a certain amount of money when you could sign for as much money as you want coming out of the Dominican, coming out of Venezuela, whatever the case may be? Now, they've kind of toned down how much you can offer in terms of the Japanese players, but there's no cap to it. And you don't have to spend that much money giving the rights fee to a Japanese team. That's the part that's unfair for the rest of Major League Baseball. The Dodgers are going to get every great Japanese player. How do you combat that? How do you beat that? Again, you have to have an international draft. Getting back to the game yesterday, Will Klein was unbelievable. Enriquez was unbelievable. And I told you on the show, the way to beat the Dodgers is to get their starter out by the sixth inning. That's exactly what the Blue Jays did with Tyler Glasnow. Both teams' weakness happens to be their bullpen, and the bullpen was outstanding for both teams. Finally cracked at the end when Freddie Freeman hit the home run. It was a tremendous game, and I'm sure a lot of people that are listening or watching now on the YouTube channel, they didn't stay up. People have work. So that's a bad thing for Major League Baseball. Well, one of the great games you'll ever see, one of the great World Series games you'll ever see, how many people were watching at 3 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast? Can't be that many. Kind of counterproductive, right? One other thing. Everybody who's not even a baseball fan is talking about that game yesterday. Even if they didn't see it, they've read about it, they've seen the highlights. That just proves to me the utter stupidity of the Manfred Man rule, where you put a runner at second base in the 10th inning. Stupidity. How fascinating would it have been if a World Series game was decided by having to put a position player into pitch? And I hear, well, this is what they don't want during the regular season. They don't want these sorts of games. Why? Why? You don't want a game that everybody's going to be talking about? Oh, it's going to really, really impact the pitching staff? Deal with it. Major League Baseball managers dealt with it for over 100 years, and the sport didn't collapse. Those games like yesterday are unbelievable for the sport because it brings the strange eyes into the sport. The ones that might not be unbelievable baseball fans. It brings those eyes into the sport, and that's what you want. You want the outside people peering over the fence. Nobody peers over the fence because the game ended when a ghost runner scores from second base. It bastardizes the sport. It does. Bastardizes the sport. Just think about the things that could have happened yesterday. Will Klein threw twice as many pitches as he's ever thrown as a professional. 4 innings. He's a 2-inning guy. Threw about 70 pitches. I think the most he's ever thrown was about 35. If there was a 19th inning, Yamamoto was going to pitch. Tell me that's not great for baseball. If there was a 19th inning for the Blue Jays, tonight's starter, Shane Bieber, was going to pitch. All sorts of permutations for the sport. But instead, during the regular season, we have a stupid rule because they don't want long extra inning games because it could tax the pitching staff. My, oh my, how did they ever deal with that before? How did they ever deal with that before? They did, and the sport didn't die. Great game. Dodgers up 2-1. Ohtani, that guy again, pitches tonight against Bieber. And you have to wonder about the shape of the bullpen. Springer left the game, looked like he pulled an oblique, something in his side. Hopefully he could play. Bichette looks hobbled. But watching that game, boy, they both play great defense. Unbelievable. And they both hustle. They run down the line. They force the defense. They really do. It's good, solid, crisp baseball. It's fun to watch. Really is. 1-800-919-3776. All right, let's talk about this. Let's bring in the co-host, shall we? Let's see. Let's go to Tommy in Connecticut to start it off. Tom, what's up, man?
Michael, always good to talk to you.
Thanks for calling, man.
I kind of liked your thoughts on the intentional walk. I was talking to Deanahan. I think maybe the hold up 4 fingers or even a 4-pitch walk with no strikes thrown, 2 bases awarded.
You know what? I don't hate it, Tommy, but I don't think it stops it. The only way it would stop it is if the base, if there's runners on second and third, that would force in a run. I think you've got to limit the amount of intentional walks that could be issued to one player. That's the only solution. What is it good for the sport that you will actually take out? That you would actually take out your best player and make him unwatchable, where he doesn't get to swing.
That was a great game. Now, I don't think they would ever do this. Do you think they would ever limit the amount of times you could intentionally walk somebody? Because it's hard to tell if he's going to get 3 at-bats, a game, 4 at-bats, or even, a game like last night. So, maybe twice a game. After that, you have to pitch to him no matter what.
You know what? I think that's the solution, Phil. And I know people always roll their eyes when you want to change anything with Major League Baseball because it's like you're defacing the sacrament. But there have been rules that changed. Throwing over to first base twice. Lowering the mound. For the good of the sport. You want to put speed into the sport, so what you did was you wanted stolen bases. So you limit the amount of throws over. You want Ohtani to swing the bat. So you limit the amount of times you could walk him. Maybe even limit it to 1. And then you really got to pick your poison when you think the game is on the line. It was too easy for Snyder yesterday. 4 fingers, go to first base. And it was the right move for him. It was the absolute right move. Let's go to Corey in Old Bridge. Corey.
Thank you for taking my call, Michael.
You got it.
Couple things. Well, main thing is I agree with your main point about how it's not good for the game. You are taking the bat out of the hands of the best player on the field. And on the World Series stage, you don't want that. It's not good for the sport. But I do want to respectfully challenge a couple things you said. You said this isn't done in any other sport. There's no way to do it in other sports.
Tell me, what did I miss?
What do you think? What's that?
What did I miss? What other sport do they allow it?
Oh, so, well, I mean, again, respectfully, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying, well, what about in basketball when the strategy is to have someone foul out? It happened to Shaq a ton when I was a kid. I remember seeing, at the end of the game, Shaq wasn't even a factor, and the Lakers had to figure out ways to win without him.
All right, great point.
And then also in hockey.
Let's take that one point first. I'll let you get to the hockey point.
Okay, sorry.
The reason they're allowed to do that, Corey, is because Shaq was a terrible free throw shooter. So something that was a negative in his game, they exploited. But you're not exploiting a negative in Ohtani's game.
I'm not saying fouling Shaq. I'm saying
that he fouls
getting
out?
Shaq to foul.
But that's his fault.
Yes.
It's not Ohtani's fault that he's intentionally walked. Only his greatness is making him get intentionally walked. You know what I mean?
Okay, but again, I would say the strategy is to take a charge, try and get him to foul. I understand that is, it's a little different, but I'll concede that.
I like the way you're thinking.
Hockey,
Okay, hockey, go ahead.
Hockey, I don't know. Again, I don't know if they've done anything to change this strategy, but what if you fight the best player? That's going to take him off the ice for 5 minutes.
Right. That's interesting, but usually they don't allow that. The other team won't allow it. Rempe will come in and he'll take over the fight. So, and the great players don't fight. I mean, Gretzky didn't fight. There's ways to avoid that. There's ways to again. That's not taking the game away. You're not disallowing Gretzky to take part in the game because you throw a thug after him. And he wouldn't fight because he's smart. I think that at the least, make them throw the intentional walk pitches. Maybe Ohtani expands his zone and lines a double to left field. Who knows? Those aren't, that to me, Corey, and I thank you for the phone call, that's apples to wrenches to me. That's apples to wrenches. It's not apples to oranges. It's just not. You are not allowing Ohtani to do what he does best. You are criminalizing, so to speak, his greatness. You're penalizing him because he's so great. You're not coming up with any grand strategy on how to pitch to him. No, you're just saying you're out. No. Just take first base. You can't swing. You can't play today. Take your bat and ball and go home. Jerry in Maywood. Jerry.
Hey, Mike, thanks a lot.
Got it.
Speaking about rule changes and Ohtani, with Ohtani pitching tonight, do you have a problem with the Ohtani rule?
I do have a problem. I do. I think,
it was made. Go ahead.
No. You. It's your point. I think you're dead right. You changed the rules for Ohtani to stay in the game. That's what you did.
Yeah, it was one-man rule.
Yeah.
Early in his career, he wasn't allowed to do that.
You're Jerry, not even 1,000%. You're 1,000,000% right. They blatantly changed the rules for one man. It doesn't impact anybody else. So you changed the rules because you didn't want to take Ohtani's bat out of the game. So I remember a game he pitched at Yankee Stadium when he was at the Angels, and he got completely rocked and got taken out in the first inning. But the Ohtani rules allows him to stay in the game. Why? Because you want greatness to be on display. You change the rules of baseball for one man. I think you got to change them again. You can't allow his bat to be taken off the stage because of strategy. You can't. You can't allow it. You shouldn't allow it. Again, they did something in baseball unprecedented. They blatantly changed the rules to benefit one man, which in effect benefits one team. So if Ohtani only goes 3 innings tonight, he's still in the game as a hitter. Well, what is that? Really, what is that? But they did it, and it was smart to do it because, people paid money to see Ohtani. So if he wasn't good pitching that day, they at least want to see him hit, right? Great point. Great point. There are Ohtani rules for that, so there should be Ohtani rules when it comes to intentional walks. Snyder was asked after the game, will he continue to walk Ohtani? Do we have that up, guys? Let me try it again. Got that time, all right. Will you continue to walk Ohtani?
And not to give away secrets, but this is pretty much what we should expect going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't blame John Snyder one bit. What do you want him to do? They can't get the guy out. So John Snyder's brilliance and his strategy is robbing us of Ohtani's brilliance. So what would you rather see highlighted? The manager's brilliance or the player's brilliance? Think about it. I'd rather see the player's brilliance. We might not see an Ohtani again forever, for the rest of our lives. This is a one of one. And last night, we stayed up for close to 7 hours, and we couldn't see him hit for 4 of those hours. 4. 4 intentional walks, 1 non-intentional intentional walk. We were robbed of that. Talk some football with Marcus Spears. When we come back, we'll return to baseball as well. Hey, YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN. We'll come back with Marcus Spears next, right here on the K Show, rolling till 3 on ESPN New York.
Bally Bet Sportsbook. Yo, Bally Bet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Check out that brand new Parlay Zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Bally Bet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Bally Bet Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, the NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
The fall is here and Halloween's right around the corner, which means the cold weather is coming. And that's why now's the time to fill up with Romeo's Fuel. Fill up before it gets too cold. Now is the best time because prices are still so low. Romeo's Fuel makes it easy for you to keep your house comfortable and warm in the coldest months. Get discount home heating oil from the best in the business. Order online at romeosfuel.com for the best and lowest price on home heating oil. That's romeosfuel.com, romeosfuel.com, romeosfuel.com.
Listen up, football fans. At Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Tuesday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Are the Chiefs destined for the Super Bowl again?
4th win in 5 games. The Kansas City Chiefs are 5-3 after an 0-2 start.
We just had way more energy in that second half. We executed at a higher level, didn't turn the ball over, and our defense held strong.
And Jeff Passan joins the show at 4 to discuss the World Series. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Your fantasy roster is set. The Smack Talk is heating up, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
They say a full marathon is the ultimate test. For me, it's more than a race. It's a milestone I once thought impossible. Michelle Smallman here, and I'm running my very first marathon in New York City with the support of Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assists powered by Parity. Together, we're empowering girls and women through sports and education with grants to 32 organizations in 21 states. Every step I take is for the finish line and for the next generation chasing their dreams. Here's to 26.2 miles and a future with no limits.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. So we're going to deviate from the baseball for just a bit because we want to talk to our good friend, Marcus Spears, who joins us every Tuesday at this time. Time now for the Marcus Spears Report, brought to you by Bet365. Marcus, how you doing, my friend?
Mike, how you doing, man? Brother, speaking of baseball, how good was that last night? I know y'all been talking about it, but God, that was amazing.
Now, it was funny because my first question, obviously you love football, you played football. Were you engaged in the baseball game?
I'm engaged in Dodgers Blue Jays, brother. October is my month where I like baseball. I keep a close ear to it, and obviously I'm with Mad Dog sometimes on First Take, and he's a baseball guy as well. But I locked in last night, man. When I got in from Kansas City, I was watching a little bit before I left, and I couldn't believe it was still on when I got home. Amazing.
It was phenomenal. So many things to unpack about it, and we've been doing that on the show. Let me ask you about Kansas City. Everybody wants to bury the Chiefs every single year. All right, the dynasty's over. They can't do it anymore. Last night was that, hey, we're still here. We're still good. You still have to go through us?
Mike, I never thought they left, brother, to be honest with you. And look, we live, I've said this a couple of years ago, we live in a society where we okay with people having success as long as it's not too long. And the fatigue starts to kick in. I'm an admirer of greatness, and I think as good as you're, as long as you're good enough to be dominant, win championships, do it. And have a good time doing it, and I'm a fan of that. I wish I was a part of a dynasty. And truth be told, that's why so many people hate on them, because they wish they were a part of them. But I never thought they went anywhere, man. I mean, the injuries had piled up. They were figuring some things out. The offensive line had, new guys, and it's been a revolving door. But, I just believe in that core and that foundation that they built in Kansas City, especially with Pat and Andy and Travis. Kind of being the figureheads of the whole thing that's going on. I just never thought they went anywhere, man. And now that they're getting healthy and the defense is obviously starting to take a few more chances because offensively they can put up points, it just looks like the Chiefs we've all grown accustomed to that's going to be there in the end trying to win the championship.
No, we had this discussion all the time during the Patriots' great years. Was it Belichick? Was it Brady? Is it Andy or is it Patrick, or is it a clear combination of both?
It's an absolute clear combination of both. And I'm a defensive guy, Mike, but we got to give some credit to Spagnuolo and his defense because for a couple of years they actually carried Kansas City a little bit. I honestly believe, man, like if you could find harmony within a franchise, it would be the Chiefs. For probably as good as it can get from decision making to coaching staff, to continuity, to keeping the core guys together, which would be, obviously Pat, Travis, and Chris Jones, even with contract situation that Chris Jones went through, they eventually got that figured out. So a lot of credit has to go to Veach and obviously the Hunt family and ownership for realizing what type of window they're in and keeping it together and making sure that they're keeping the guys that are big parts of winning, but not only that, supplemented. So, I think it's a healthy dose of everybody, but obviously it starts with the quarterback. No franchise is winning championships without a quarterback playing at an elite level, this many anyway, or this many appearances to an AFC championship. Everybody has to obviously be bought in, and Andy has to dial up plays and figure out strategy and all of that, but it's one guy out there that's consistently making plays and that we talk about on a very high level all the time, and that's number 15. And as long as they got him, Joe Burrow said it about Cincinnati, but as long as 15 is in Kansas City, their Super Bowl window is open.
All right, so let me put you on the spot, Marcus. We're talking with Marcus Spears on the Michael K. Show. Marcus Spears is putting together a team. He has two prime-age quarterbacks, Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. Who are you taking?
I'm taking Mahomes. I think, and also a big part of that, Mike, and I'm leaning towards the NFL now.
Mm-hmm.
You need a little bit more, need a little bit of athleticism, the dynamic ability, the winning consistently, and I just think the dude does things on the football field that no quarterback has done. And it's not about being the fastest or having the strongest arm. It's about adapting, playmaking, the belief that every time he plays, and none of this that I'm saying is not attributed to Tom Brady, but I think Pat has a little bit of a different element when it comes to play extension and figuring out ways when it's broken down to make a play. So I'm gonna go with Pat, man.
All right, so talking about quarterbacks, you can't win a championship without a great quarterback. It's hard to win without a quarterback. Have you changed? I don't know what your firm opinion was. Did Justin Fields change your opinion of him after the way he played on Sunday?
No, it's going to take a long, kind of consistent track.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that version of Justin Fields before. We saw it week 1 this year.
Right.
And look, I made a statement about Justin Fields and said he's not a starting quarterback, and it's because I can't attribute just calling you a starter and the inconsistency has been a part of your career thus far. And we can blame it on coaching. We can do, ended up in Chicago in a bad situation. We could talk about Pittsburgh, and he had some successful outings there, and then some inconsistencies started to kick in. All of that type of stuff. We could have those conversations. I'm going to go with the guys that have proven that they are absolute starters in this league that are young. Jaden Daniels, absolute starter. Drake May, consistency playing out. You starting to see a consistent level of play every single week. Going to be a starter in this league and play at a high level. You think about Joe Burrow when he first came in. You think about, look, I still think Trevor Lawrence is a very inconsistent quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see at times, like him and Justin, who's been paired together in conversation, you can see an elite level of ability. But this league is about doing it Sunday after Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. And I can't attribute you being a starter when I'm not sure what I'm going to get from you week in and week out. So that's how I view Justin. I'm happy for him because of what he went through. I thought Woody was so out of line for saying what he said.
Mm-hmm.
For a quarterback on your roster and a guy that you are still going to have to play with potentially at times, and I didn't agree with that at all, about how he said it, the energy that he had when he said it. But ultimately, I think Justin responded in a great way, not just from his play, but from his maturity. I like the kid a lot, but liking you and believing you a starter is two different things. So I don't that didn't sway me at all to think that he's now going to be a star, and we're going to expect to see that week in and week out.
All right, let's go to the other side of the stadium. Are you buying stock in Jaxson Dart? Do you believe in him?
Not yet. Book's still out.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's infused a lot of juice in New York and obviously made some tremendous plays. The drive against Denver to give them the lead, even though they lost that game, I thought was a big moment for him. But, Mike, you know me. Everybody knows me. It takes me a while to come around on quarterbacks, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Hard position to play. Things have to be right. Like me and Baker had a tumultuous relationship early in his career. And Baker went and not only proved that he's the guy that was drafted 1 overall. He found a home in Tampa. He took a little different road, and obviously it took a while going to Carolina and L.A. But now in Tampa, you can clearly see Baker Mayfield is a high-level quarterback. And now I'm comfortable with saying that. So I think it just takes time, man. Yeah. Jaxson Dart, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's also lost 2 big weapons in Malik Neighbors and Scatterbo, which can't help him now.
And Scatterbo, yeah.
Those are big losses for a young quarterback. But I want to get your take before we let you go. The Giants played so well against the Eagles like 19 days ago, and then they got blown out by the Eagles on Sunday. Was that a spillover from the loss in Denver? And if it was a spillover, is that a bad reflection on the coach?
I think it has something to do with that. And sometimes it's hard to bounce back, especially when you think you have a game won. It is a reflection on Daboll, but it's also let's give the Eagles some credit now. Like they found plays that they've been looking for in the run game for a while. But to your point, and I love the question because it still feels like they were reeling from the Denver game. And that is something as a staff, as Brian Daboll and his staff, they have to figure out how to get those guys reprogrammed to be ready to play the next game. I don't think they are that bad as they showed against Philly. So I think MK, that's a fair assessment to think about if they had a little bit of a hangover. And remember, man, this is a fairly young team when it comes to experience, winning, the consistency of the league week in and week out. So there's a lot of probably psychological things that you have to do, especially after you think you got a game won on the road in Denver, which probably puts you in a different conversation that we haven't about the Giants. But I think this team has shown some resiliency. I think they've shown that they will fight. And I think they just ran into a buzzsaw at Philly. Philly is starting to get it going too. And I know it's always a crazy conversation going around them. I was on Monday Night Countdown last night, and I said Philly is like that one bad kid, Mike. Like you got one bad child. If you got multiple kids, you got one bad child that's got a lot of talent. And every once in a while, you gotta put your foot down, but you also got to let them kind of freely be a little bit rambunctious because that's what makes them who they are, and that's what puts them in a situation where they can have a lot of success. That's how I look at the Philadelphia Eagles. So when you catch that bad kid and all that talent start coming out, you can't get your ass whooped.
I hear you. That's a great point. Everybody has that one bad kid. We don't admit it, but we know the one that's toughest.
We know it.
Yeah.
We know it.
Yeah. But we just don't tell others, but we internalize and get sick about it.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah. Sounds like 2 men who know. Anyway, thank you so much, Marcus. I appreciate it.
All right, Mike. Thanks, brother.
All right, that was a Marcus Spears report brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We'll come back with more of your phone calls. You're the co-host, you know that. Also want to remind you, it's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com/K to sign up today. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
This October, the only thing scarier than missing the game is missing out on a brand new Kia. At Kia City of the Bronx, 3505 Connor Street is where the ghosts of old rides get traded in and new legends are born. They've got a monster lineup of new Kias that'll take you from tailgates to haunted houses in style. Visit KiaCity.com or call 646-917-7955. Don't get spooked, get moving. Kia City of the Bronx, where Halloween meets horsepower.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Fight fans, Bud Light and ESPN New York are sending you to UFC at Madison Square Garden. Tap the Bud Light tile on the ESPN New York app and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets in the ESPN suite. Catching the action alongside me, Peter Rosenberg. Through November 7th, listen and enter through the Bud Light tile to score your shot at the ultimate fight night. Bud Light is the official beer of UFC, so make your move now on the ESPN New York app. Must be 21 and over. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Rules on the ESPN New York app. Please enjoy Bud Light responsibly.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Score or win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
The Association on Aging in New York is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Older Americans Act, which funds vital programs for millions of older adults. Services include meals, transportation, home care, Medicare counseling, case management, and caregiver support. Today, people are uncertain whether some programs remain available. We can help. To learn more about these essential programs and how to keep them, visit our website at agingny.org. Sponsored by the Association on Aging in New York.
Out here, pets are always by your side, watching the herd, running fence lines, or asleep at your feet. Pets are some of our favorite customers. When you bring them along to Tractor Supply, we'll always have a treat waiting. And with our price match guarantee, you'll always get the best price on their favorite food, toys, treats they love, and pet meds to keep them healthy. Tractor Supply, for pets out here.
Tailgate season is on, and Monster Energy flavors are bringing the heat. Crack open the wickedly creamy citrus blast of Orange Dreamsicle, or ride the shockingly smooth wave of Electric Blue. Both packed with real sugar, bold flavor, and that legendary monster kick. This is the energy your game day deserves, so grab your can and unleash the beast.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans,
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team.
Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
Welcome back to the show. Hey, Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. We have a full slate today. 7 p.m., the Islanders are in Boston to play the Bruins. That's right. 8 p.m., the Knicks are in Milwaukee to play the Bucks. Coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. right here on 880 ESPN. 8 p.m., World Series Game 4 out in L.A. between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. You can catch that game on the ESPN New York app. Boog Sciambi with the play-by-play. He's going to join us at 2 o'clock to talk about doing a 7-hour game on radio. Now, Joe Davis did a great job on TV, but on TV you don't have to talk nearly as much as you have to talk on radio. So I'm wondering if Boog is exhausted. We'll talk to him at 2 o'clock. 9 p.m., the Devils are in Denver to play the Avalanche. Don LaGreca on the call, the TV side. 10 p.m., the Rangers are in Vancouver to play the Canucks. Coverage begins at 9:30 p.m. on 1050 ESPN. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew. Try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glass up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. All right, we talked about the 18-inning game yesterday. Just amazing. Walking Ohtani 4 times intentionally. Not great. Not great, Bob. Not great for the sport because you're taking the bat out of the hands of a one-of-one, a unicorn. I mean, we're not going to see many Shohei Ohtanis in our lifetime. I mean, we have to embrace the fact that this is one of the best ever. One of the best ever. And you can make the argument he might be the best ever in terms of all the skills that he employs. Last year, when he didn't pitch, he stole over 50 bases. He was a 50-50 guy. We used to make a big deal out of 40-40. We make a big deal out of 30-30. He was a 50-50 guy. And now he's pitching again, pitching tonight, after being on base 9 times. Amazing. Let's go back to the phone calls. Let's go to Ray in Springfield. Ray.
Hey, Mike. I want to talk about the limit of intentional walks you were proposing.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be hard to enforce, because they could just throw 4 non-competitive pitches and you can't say it's intentional?
Yeah, it does make it hard to police, but see if you think along with me, Ray. A guy could make a mistake throwing non-competitive pitches where a ball might leak out over the plate and Ohtani could expand the strike zone and maybe hit the ball, but you don't give him any chance whatsoever with, holding up 4 fingers. So, like the last time they walked him, he had a chance. He could have expanded the zone if he wanted to. They weren't great pitches. They weren't over the strike zone, but they were certainly hittable if he wanted to expand the zone. I'm not recommending he do that, but he can do that. He has no recourse if they hold up 4 fingers. None. Absolutely none. Let's go to Corrine in Manasquan.
Hey, Michael. Thanks for taking the call.
You got it.
I just wanted to talk about that. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that game last night. I mean, absolutely thrilling. I didn't even have a rooting interest in it, and I stayed up till, 2:53 in the morning watching it because I just couldn't turn the TV off. And, this is what the game needs. You have a big 18-inning game. Everyone's talking about it. It's the World Series. And, imagine if there's a Manfred man. It just would have taken all the luster out of the game. And I'm just so glad the game ended up how it was. And, at one point you're thinking, if this goes to the 30th inning, who's going to get bumped to the stream, DiPietro and Rothenberg or the game?
It's a great point. I would have to think it would be DiPietro and Rothenberg. But it's just amazing to me how exciting that was. And I thought Corrine said it best. Even if you don't have a dog in the fight, like you're not a Dodger fan, you're not a Blue Jay fan, you're just watching baseball. You're watching a great sporting event. And, I'm looking at my X feed during the commercial, and a couple of people made a comment. Where is it exactly? Oh, Spurt. Steve Purdy said, TV networks don't want regular season baseball games more than 3 hours, or worse, not knowing when a game will end. They don't want it every day. But if you give them once, every 3 months, they love it. They love it. Yeah, I agree. You want to fit it into a window. That's good for networks. But you think the Fox was complaining that it went to 3 in the morning yesterday? It didn't help their ratings because the average rating is going to go down because people are going to sleep. But, for the historical aspect of it, it's great. I've told this over and over and over again, and people don't believe me. The Manfred Man is my least favorite rule of all the rules. And I'm not one of these people that look at it as church, that you can't touch it, you can't change it to make it better. I'm not that guy. I'm all for change. I love the pitch clock. I don't mind the throw over twice. But the Manfred Man is awful. It's not baseball. It's a carnival. It's a carnival. It's like you're at Great Adventure or Six Flags. It's awful. It's not real baseball. He goes, well, it was a shootout. I get it. But if you really love hockey, do you really want the shootout? And if it's so great, then why don't they have the shootout decide Stanley Cup games? They don't, because it's not real baseball. It's not real hockey. Listen, if you said to me the networks want it in a nice, tidy 3-hour window, we can have a discussion, because I know everything is run by TV. I get it. I understand it. But when you tell me, well, you know what, managers don't want to do that and burn out their bullpen, too bad. Too bad. Casey Stengel dealt with it. Tony La Russa dealt with it. Miller Huggins dealt with it. It can be dealt with. It does not crush you for the next 3 weeks. It just doesn't. And if it does, deal with it. We're talking about what's good for baseball. What's good for baseball is a game like this. They still talk about that 26-inning game they had in the minor leagues with Pawtucket. Still talk about it. The players involved still get asked about it because it doesn't happen very often. It doesn't happen very often. Yeah, the games do end after 10 innings, 11 innings. It's very rare to go 12, 13 innings. I get it. And I think that when you get into a game like yesterday, everybody's trying to be hero. They were playing hero ball, trying to hit the ball out. That's not great either. But it's better than the Manfred Man. That's bastardizing the game of baseball. It's not what baseball's about. It's silly. It's silliness. New York soccer fans, the Audi 2025 MLS Cup playoffs, they're here. On Saturday, November 1st, New York City FC returns to Yankee Stadium for Game 2 of their best-of-3 series against Charlotte FC. Kickoff is set for 3:30 p.m. For a chance to be there, enter now at ESPNNewYork.com or through the ESPN New York app. Just click the contest tab and submit your entry. Don't miss this opportunity to experience playoff soccer as the boys in blue begin their chase for the cup. Tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.com/NYCFC. When we get back, Boog Sciambi, the radio voice of Major League Baseball. He will join us in just a moment to tell us what it's like doing play-by-play on the radio for an 18-inning, about 7-hour game. That's coming up next, right here on the K-Show till 3. At that time, Don Hahn and Rosenberg, right here on ESPN New York.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
All your favorite NBA players are back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. With more markets open for more of the game, DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is live when others aren't. New customers, bet just $5 and get 3 months of NBA League Pass. Plus, score $300 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ. Bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass, plus get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
offer.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bathfitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement. Plus, a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments, or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bathfitter.
The post-crib assembly press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Michael, you had some trouble putting the crib together today. What went wrong?
You know, those instructions can be tough, and, well, you saw the outcome.
Were you upset when your wife pulled you and called in the backup?
No, I mean, the baby needs a crib to sleep in, so whatever it takes.
You've got a changing table to put together next. It's got a lot of drawers. What's your comment?
You know what? We're done here.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
Welcome back to the show. Been talking a lot about Game 3 of the World Series, won by the Dodgers on the Freddie Freeman home run in the bottom of the 18th inning. Just under 7 hours, 18 innings. Just amazing. And if you were watching or listening, you couldn't really stop. You know, I knew I had to get to bed, but I said, no, I'm not. I'll just be tired tomorrow, and that's all there is to it. And I'm glad that I stayed up. But a guy who had to stay up is a guy who did play-by-play on ESPN. ESPN Radio. You heard it on the ESPN New York app. You can hear Game 4 tonight on the ESPN New York app as well. And that is John Boog Sciambi. And he is the voice of Major League Baseball on the radio, also the voice of the Cubs on TV. Boog, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good, pal. I like getting a chance to do an interview like this and talk with someone that knows exactly what last night is like. Like all the questions you're going to ask me, you have an idea of what that's like. It was unique.
All right, so let's talk about physical aspect. Were you tired? Was your voice affected at all?
I think I was a little tired. My voice wasn't affected. My experience in those spots is my brain gets tired. There's a concentration level. I think that it takes that at a certain point, it's where you misspeak, you know, in those type of spots because your brain just gets tired. So that, you know, for people who want to know why when Mike Trout comes up and an announcer calls him Steve Trout, he knows it's Mike Trout, but he remembers the, you know, left-handed pitcher. You know, it's just stuff like that where your brain has a million things in it. And as you get tired, I think you're more susceptible to stuff like that.
All right, so when the game is moving along and we're closing in on 7 hours, you know, I was torn between, I want this to go longer. I want to see how Yamamoto would pitch. And then the other part of me goes, let this end so you could get to bed. Were you rooting for a longer game? Were you rooting for it to go longer?
so that it could set the record. I guess I didn't really. I was sort of in the middle. I mean, I think I'll give you the answer. I was just being present, Michael. I was just present in the moment.
Where your
really
feet are.
Contemplated.
Yeah, where your feet are.
That's right. So I wasn't rooting for 19. I think I was just sort of in it and curious as to how it would end.
And the way it ended was a guy who looked, if it wasn't marine layer time at Dodger Stadium, he would have ended it twice. But Freeman just has a knack. I'm telling you, he just has a knack.
Yeah, he's special. He's a great example of like the face that baseball needs to put out there, even on the backside of his career. He plays with a lot of joy. You know, he's a guy who's been through a lot. He lost his mom to skin cancer when he was 10, and baseball's been a real healing part of his life, even now as he's in the majors. You know, he hit that walk-off homer against the Yankees in the 10th last year, and his dad was interviewed the next day because if you remember, he hits the grand slam, and then he just ran over to his dad who was behind the plate and just started screaming at him. And when his dad was interviewed the next day, his father said, yeah, that was our bonding. I would throw to him, but it wasn't so that I, would hope I would deliver a major league player. He said, I just wanted him to make the high school team and ride the bus with the guys and have friends.
Right.
So he's got, Freddie's got, I would say, a pretty good feel and self-awareness, and he's a special, special talent, no doubt.
Now, we both do this. It's our job, but we do love the game. And I opened up the show today saying, Ohtani is one of one. I mean, that's not breaking any new ground, Boog. But, you could have watched that game for 3 hours last night, and you never saw him take the bat off his shoulder. 4 intentional walks, and then an unintentional intentional walk. So the last 5 times he comes to the plate, he gets past the first base. And I think it's a crime. And I understand, I think what Schneider did is brilliant. I saw him do it to Judge. I think it's a smart way to approach it. But, Boog, does something have to be put in that baseball does not have its biggest star robbed on the biggest stage of performing? It's like telling Barbra Streisand, you can't sing tonight. Everybody bought tickets for you to sing, but you can't sing. Should they limit intentional walks? Is there something that can be done so that the biggest stars could actually perform?
All right, I'd like to take there's a number of things I'd like to address in that, but we'll start with making fun of you for a Barbra Streisand reference.
You know what? I'm a man of a certain age.
I'm familiar with your work. I'm just saying, of all the people that you possibly could have picked, and in your listening audience, if you could just put a poll right now, what percentage of your audience knows who the hell Barbra Streisand is?
Now, I would say 100%. 100%. Okay.
Absolutely not.
Well, you know what? Let me make
Absolutely
it.
Not.
Let me make it more modern. If Machine Gun Kelly, you bought tickets to see Machine Gun Kelly, you can't sing.
Dua Lipa. Just Dua Lipa.
Oh, I went with Taylor Swift in the first hour. Streisand's the greatest singer of all time. Just stop.
Okay.
Just stop it.
I'm sorry. Just, jeez. Holy cow. You were such a fossil. All right. So, look, as far as your question is concerned, I'm being serious when I answer this. I know you're going to want a specific answer, but what I would say is that for this sport to grow with the times, everything has to be on the table.
Love it.
Meaning the idea of, we need to figure out how to get the stars more involved. Maybe this game needs a clock and you play in a 2.5-hour window or however many innings that you play inside that window. Ways to get the game even more sped up inside. Ways for there to be more contact. I think they need to shorten the schedule. I just think that when you really look, if we were starting this sport right now and the first topic was, how many games will there be? And we were in a meeting room, and the first person blurted out 162. They would get thrown out of the room.
It would almost be like saying Barbra Streisand. Same thing.
That's right. That's right. Exactly right. Yes, you were picking up what I'm putting down. There's a good old person's phrase. So, I just think, forget about I totally hear where you're coming from, and I get it. I'm just saying we got to be open to everything. We can't hang on and cling. We got to think of how do we get more people to want to watch this sport, to be excited? And you're right. I mean, look, not only does he not get to play, then we have to wait 8 more batters for the same thing to happen again.
Yep.
So it is one of those things that, yes, we grew up and I loved it and I found it charming, but I do think that we've got to be open to some changes and for it to move and to tweak some stuff. It's a great game. Everybody will be fine. The record books will be fine. It'll be all right. There's just so many great things about it, but they've got to keep changing. They've got the same mindset that allowed them to put the pitch clock in, to make the bases bigger, to enhance stolen base opportunities. They have to stay in that growth type mindset, I think.
See, I love that you say that, and the thing that bothers me, and we're talking with Boog Sciambi here on the Michael K. Show, is that there are fans of the game of a certain age that look at it as church. And now I love it so much, and I look at it that way too, but it has to change. Like in football, they could make a ridiculous rule change on kickoffs. Nobody's head explodes. If you did something that drastic in baseball, people's head would explode. I just don't understand it.
Yes. Well, and the other part that's funny is that even people that don't, at this point, even like baseball so much, have opinions on it, like baseball shouldn't change. I mean, look, football has one of the dumbest things in the history of sport in the kicker. Like, you play this entire game, and then this guy trots out that does something that can decide the outcome of the game that has nothing to do with the other 58 minutes that we watch. Like, it's the dumbest thing ever, that while these guys are basically trying to maim themselves, and then the athleticism, speed, and running, and throwing, and catching, and then some little 5'8" dude kicks the ball 68 yards and the other team won. You're just like, wait, what just happened? Because that's not what I was watching.
Now, this is odd because, we're in agreement for the most part other than Streisand, so I'm going to hit you with something I bet you're not in agreement with. The fact that that game went 18 innings yesterday, I think is great for baseball. Great. Everybody's talking about it today. We would not be talking most of this show about Game 3 of the World Series that does involve the Mets or the Yankees if it wasn't an 18-inning classic. And I think that they rob us of that during the regular season with the Manfred Man, which I think is the worst rule that they've come up with, because the reasons I keep hearing, Boog, it destroys a pitching staff. You know what? Joe McCarthy dealt with it. Casey Stengel dealt with it. Tony La Russa dealt with it. It doesn't destroy things. And I think it makes baseball the topic of conversation the next day. I hate the extra inning rule in the regular season. Your thoughts? I bet you like it.
I think that the way they're doing it is absolutely perfect. There is look, if you agree with the rant that I just had, there is no reason that in the middle of June in game 66, we might play 22 innings in 5 hours. It's just stupid.
But wouldn't it be great for the sport?
No, nobody would talk about it in the middle. I think you're right about last night. In the middle of June, no. Nobody would talk about it.
I think it's a lot of people in our business that don't want to work a long time.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I think that the guys in the field, one of the dirty little secrets is when you're playing extra innings, like in the regular year, if you could go down and take a poll, hey, right now, if you could push a plunger and lose this game, would you? You'd be stunned by how many people would say yes.
But if you did that same poll, do you want to go on a flight now from New York to go to Seattle? They'd all say they don't want to do that either. It's part of the rules of engagement.
Yeah, but I just finished telling you that you need to be willing to change.
I get it.
It's not like you're giving me the argument of this is the way it is. And what I would say is, for the regular season, the way they do it works just fine. And last night was perfect because it's the biggest stage and it's good. But when the Yankees are playing the Reds in August, no, we don't need to go 15 innings. It's 1/162nd. We just don't.
But okay, you're saying 1/152nd, 162nd, but the Yankees didn't get the division because of one game. So you could
yeah, I get it, but you had a lot of opportunities.
I get it. So a 15-inning game might have been one of those opportunities.
Or the Manfred Man would have been one of those opportunities.
Listen, but you are talking to somebody. I don't push back against change, but stupid change is stupid change. You're robbing
It's fine.
fundamentally a classic baseball game.
You're not. There's like the amount of games that go that long anyway is in the 1% to 2% range.
Exactly.
Historically.
But
so
Boog,
who cares?
But we're to this day, don't we still talk about that 26-inning game with Pawtucket? We have talked about it.
No,
If it was
we
an
don't.
11-inning game.
No, we
yes,
don't.
we do.
Nobody talks about that.
Oh,
No,
everybody
we don't.
does. I was at a cocktail party the other day, and 15 people were talking about
Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, we were
As
talking
many
about
people were talking
Streisand,
about Barbra
and we said, Wade Boggs was in that Pawtucket game. We were talking about it. It engaged everybody. And these were young people.
Don't care.
You're the worst. You really are the worst.
What do you mean?
You're just so nasty.
I was like 7 minutes ago. I was like the best, and then I turned into the worst.
Well, that's our relationship. Right there is our relationship.
It's a really good point. I wish everybody could see us in person because this is absolutely fundamentally our relationship. I feel like you start stuff, and I have to clean up our mess. I am the person that holds the burden of this relationship to keep it peaceful and calm, and you're the hothead.
I remember one specific instance when we were actually in a confined space. We were on the Acela. I believe it was from Baltimore. And we argued for 2.5 hours about analytics. And you get nasty, too. When you lose an argument, it's ugly. It's an ugliness about you that it's not something that you should put out there. I'm glad I'm the only one who saw it.
Hi, Mr. Pot. I'm the kettle. Nice to meet you.
Now, it's 11:16 in L.A. Are you in your hotel room?
I gotta get going and get prepped. I'm in my hotel room right now.
You got pajamas on? How do you sit in your hotel room? Fully clothed? I'd like to know.
I'm fully clothed. Right. I'm actually in a suit at the moment.
And you're going to go to the ballpark at 11:16? Got to do your prep work.
In about an hour.
So you're going
to go in about an hour.
Did you get your workout in yet?
I did get my workout in. My walk to Starbucks.
Love it.
Yeah. That's it. That's what I got.
Little frappuccino?
A little frappuccino. We'll play 2.5 hours, and then everybody's going to go watch Streisand later tonight.
I can't believe that's where you're going to dig in. Streisand is considered one of the greatest singers of all time. Would it have been better if I went with Pavarotti?
I'm saying you're a fossil. I'm saying you are a fossil.
I am the coolest 64-year-old you'll ever meet.
I mean, you are 1,000 years old.
How old are you, Skippy?
I'm Skippy.
How old are you?
This is taking a turn, man. I'm not disclosing that.
Yeah,
on this program.
I do have the Google machine right here. I could find out.
Do you? You do have the Google machine, don't you?
I can find that out. Okay. How do you think Ohtani's going to do tonight? He looked exhausted when he was interviewed on the field after the game.
I can't imagine. I mean, I guess there's a chance that it could be good. I have a hard time. I did the game when he went 6 shutout, the 3 homers and the 10 strikeouts. I mean, I would realistically, even if it goes well, it just feels like, 4 or 5 innings?
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling too.
I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how either side's going to do it. And then my other question would be I wonder if it'll end up, is Springer going to miss the rest of the series? And if he does, and they put somebody on the roster, do they get an advantage because they get to put a pitcher on the roster?
See, I was thinking they put Loperfido on the roster, but you're thinking they could add a pitcher. Yeah. That's interesting. Interesting. Right. Since you're also, you are
That's
very,
what I do.
You're the voice of the Cubs. Do you believe that the Cubs are going to sign Kyle Tucker?
I do not.
How come?
I mean, their MO has not been that, I mean, look, the biggest contract in the history of the Cubs franchise is Jason Hayward.
Right.
$187 million. That was a long time ago, man. That was 10 years ago. So I think that they have a method of operating that does not include doling out those big contracts, despite being, one of the bigger market teams. So I don't think that they're going to try to sign him. That's my guess.
Did they not like him as a player? Was he less of a player than they thought he was going to be? I know he was injured, but when he was healthy, was he less of a player than they thought?
I mean, when he was healthy, the first 3.5 months of the season, he was a monster.
Right.
I mean, he was a 930 OPS, and he was, he was kind of like Juan Soto light. I mean, in terms of not quite as much power, but a lot of on-base percentage. Great idea, the strike zone. And he's a good base runner, even though he's not fast. So I would say he had stretches where he was, he was the best hitter on the field. And then with a bunch of different injuries, it really collapsed for him. So, I mean, he's elite. There's no doubt. I'm curious to see what the money is. We're seeing Guerrero on display. I mean, gosh, the first 2.5, 3 months of the season, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, Kyle Tucker's mouth has to be watering. I mean, if you put Kyle Tucker's numbers in his career against Vladimir Guerrero, and they're, similar age range, I think Vlad's 26, Kyle's 28. But, Vladdy's getting 500. Kyle had to be sitting there thinking, I'm going to get paid. I don't know what he's going to get, but I don't think it'll be, $400 million or anything.
Is he as shaky in the outfield as you hear about, or is he serviceable?
It's weird. That was the one area that I was disappointed in. I thought, you hear Gold Glove and that type of thing. I thought that he would be a little bit better. I think I would put him as average to maybe at times a tick above and maybe at times a tick below.
Were you surprised, Boog, that Bellinger was as good as he was with the Yankees after being with the Cubs the last year?
Yeah, it was weird, right? I probably was surprised that he bounced back again, but look, the year before, I mean, the Cubs, if Belly had put up, the numbers in 24 that he had put up in 23, I would say he'd still be a Cub. So I love the guy. I think he's a really good player. I definitely, I'm fond of like the path, right? Where he was an MVP, a rookie of the year, and then he just cratered, and he's worked super hard. He does great work against lefties. He shortens up with 2 strikes. I don't know how you don't like him.
I like him a lot. He's terrific. But, I mean, what's the price going to be? And if they have to choose between Tucker at so much more money or Bellinger, I'm saying the Yankees, who
Right.
should they go to if you were Brian Cashman?
Yeah, I don't know what the money would look like. I definitely think that there's the possibility that Bellinger would be a better bargain. I mean, he's not going to give you like peak Kyle Tucker, peak Cody Bellinger. It's a fairly significant advantage, I think, to Kyle Tucker. But, Belly gives you more defensively as well. I mean, heck, you guys didn't even play him at the spot I would say at this point that he's best at, and that's first base. Like, that's where defensively he is still, I think, probably – close to Gold Glove caliber.
So I'm going to win you back. The old man's going to win you back. So let me see if I can encapsulate what you said. Bellinger in his last year with the Cubs was essentially mid. That's what the kids say, mid.
Wow.
Huh?
I think a little better than mid, but I definitely give you kudos for utilizing the word. So sure.
Now you're the arbiter of cool. I'm so glad
Yes,
you're
I
on
am.
with me. You really are. You're really special. Listen,
Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
The next time that I come on, do you think you could maybe get a pre-produced introduction and that you call me the arbiter of cool?
Yeah, sure. Hey, I'm gonna even go even further. You ready? Because I know you do college basketball during the winter, but you have some time off.
Very busy.
Yeah, very busy.
Not
The
a
next
lot-
time
not a lot of time off.
you are from the New York area. The next time
Yes,
you're
I
here,
am.
okay? I want you to come in and host with me for 2 hours. You up for that?
I would love that.
Well,
Yeah,
let's do that. I'll even pay for your cab
Seriously,
to
I
come
would
to the
love
studio.
to do that.
I
I
mean,
would
we
love
do
that.
work for
Now-
ESPN. You could do it.
Yeah, no, I know I can. And are you going to pay me cash on the side, or what are we doing?
There's a
for that
great
part
little
of it?
pizza place down the block. I'll take you there for a couple of slices.
I want some of your cash.
No, it's not available. I have 2 kids that get that cash first.
All right, alligator arms. Well,
You have been very nasty today. Very. And I'm glad you have
not been nasty.
Because you know what? You were a great guest today. These are this is like Burt Reynolds with Johnny Carson. How's that for aging myself?
Wow.
Huh?
Good Lord. And a heck of a compliment, I might add, by the way.
Because he was a great guest.
A really nice compliment. Yeah, he was.
Well, have a great game tonight. I'd like to say I'm going to listen, but I am going to watch on TV.
But why don't you sync it up?
No, why would I insult Joe Davis like that?
I mean, because we're closer, aren't we?
Yes, we are, but Joe Davis is a young man trying to make his way in the business. You're established. You don't need me.
He's the television voice trying to make his way in the business. Good Lord.
Now, they delivered fresh fruit to their booth yesterday in the 15th inning. Did you get anything delivered?
No, we got no fruit.
Oh, beautifully cut fruit. It was beautiful. I'm surprised you didn't get it.
Seriously?
You're a big fruit guy, I'd guess.
Yeah, that's me. I love it.
You love watermelon? Little pineapple?
Yeah. Yep. Uh-huh. All of it.
Listen, get
berries.
to the ballpark.
I love berries.
Listen, when you do one thing today, when you walk into the broadcast booth, just salute to the Vin Scully sign. For me.
Absolutely, I will.
I appreciate it.
I remember one time I was doing a game and there was a Vin Scully bobblehead giveaway when I was doing a national game, and you texted me and you said, "Hey, would you grab me one of those?" And I texted you back, "No."
Right. Yeah. And you know what? I didn't expect you to say yes, because that's what you're about. That's what you're about. I love you. I really do. I usually don't.
Back at you, brother.
I don't give of myself like that, but I do love you.
I love you too, and thank you for having me on.
And when
Sync
you're
up the TV tonight. Do yourself a favor.
When you're in New York,
critique the radio broadcast.
Well, you know,
I'll do that. I will come in.
But somebody who's on the Streisand lane, do you really think I know how to sync things up?
Yeah, that's a good
with
point.
the Philco TV. It's the rabbit ears. It's hard.
Philco. Yeah.
Bye, Boog.
All right. See
Have
ya.
a great game. That is John Sciambi. You could hear him tonight on ESPN New York. He's doing play-by-play of the World Series for ESPN Radio. Speaking of ESPN, YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN. We come back, more of your phone calls, a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's talk about it with you right here on ESPN New York.
Tuesday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Are the Chiefs destined for the Super Bowl again?
Fourth win in 5 games. The Kansas City Chiefs are 5-3 after an 0-2 start.
We just had way more energy in that second half. We executed at a higher level, didn't turn the ball over, and our defense held strong.
And Jeff Passan joins the show at 4 to discuss the World Series. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, the NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica with a plan that's customized for you. Same-day and next-day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Looking for the best internet deal? It's just a fast phone call away. Only Optimum Fiber Internet delivers the fastest and most reliable fiber internet starting at just $40 a month. That's right, lightning fast fiber internet at a price that won't slow you down. Call 888-4OPTIMUM today to lock in your offer in just a few minutes and see how you can also get the Disney Plus Hulu bundle and an unlimited mobile line on us. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Terms apply.
Lowe's knows that free makes everything better. That's why our rewards members get free standard shipping on the things they want and need to get the job done every day. Savings for rewards members add up fast, so why wait? Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
Rich Eisen here for Sonos, the speakers that bring every game to life in my own house. With studio quality sound, Sonos makes you feel like you're right there in the stadium. Whether you're cheering on your team, binging your favorite show, or listening to the hottest songs, Sonos fills every room with incredible sound. Setup is easy. Just plug in, open the Sonos app, and you're ready to go. Want stadium quality sound at home just like me? Because I love Sonos. You will too. Explore soundbars, speakers, and more at Sonos.com. Sonos. They look as good as they sound.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
It was gutty, I'll tell you that. It was a gutty performance to come back and win that game for the Jets.
Tosses to the end zone, and he's got Taylor for the Jets touchdown.
To Justin Fields' credit, to deal with everything that he was dealing with.
If we could just complete a pass, it would look good.
Plus the lack of success on the field.
I'm not worried about really what anybody else has to say.
What he's made out of, the resiliency to be able to do what he just did. I mean, credit to that kid.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. This is Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York.
The other thing I would say about Field, there was less fear in his play. Yeah. He was not as afraid to take some chances and not as afraid about throwing an interception downfield. He didn't take 100 shots, but he didn't shy away from it when there was a chance to go after it.
Yeah, what are they going to do, bench him? For who? Outside of going to Wildcat all day with Breeze, what else are they going to do?
Bart Scott, Chris Carlin, weekdays at 10 a.m. on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Babs, yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo. I mean, really, he's going to knock me for using as an example one of the great voices of all time. I know we have a lot of young listeners, and for that I am so grateful. So grateful. But the youngest people, if you're fans of rap, if you're fans of rock, every single person knows the greatness of Barbra Streisand. Everyone. So it's not a dated thing. It's not like I said Enrico Caruso or something like that. Barbra Streisand is alive. She's known. It's just a cheap shot by Boog Sciambi. It's a cheap shot, and I'm not going to stand for it. Now, how many people out there, you can actually hit me up on X at Real Michael K. Do you want to have 2 hours of Kay and Sciambi? Is that something that interests you? Next time he's in New York City. Is that something that interests you? I think it could be fun. So the guys from Don Hahn and Rosenberg, Don's on the road with the Devils, but he'll be on the show. They're outside. So for those that are not watching on our YouTube, ESPN New York channel, I have a beard now, which is essentially white. And for the most part, I've been getting quasi-compliments on it. Quasi-compliments. But I came outside and Alan Hahn is there, and Alan Hahn raved about it. Said he loves it. He said you have to keep it throughout the winter. He said it gives a very good fall feel. And then Peter walked in, Peter Rosenberg, and he goes, it's okay, because he doesn't know how to give love. He doesn't know how to give love. He talks about, like, going through therapy on the phone, whatever. He doesn't know how to give love. It's hard for him to, like, really open himself up and say, Michael, that looks terrific. So he finally relented and said, it's better than I thought it would be. So let's bring in Tom Bauer. Tom, what do you think of the beard?
Honestly, I'm a big fan of the Michael Kay beard.
Big fan? Really?
It's a unique look that I never expected you to rock.
Right.
But it's working.
Thank you. Now let's bring in Ray Denahan. Ray, what do you think of the beard?
I think it's a great off-season beard.
But you wouldn't want to see it on a June Yankee game.
No, I mean, the beard thing in the Yankees just didn't work out this year. I don't know.
But I don't think they're going to rescind the rule. The rule is still that you can grow a beard and have longer hair. So it's not like they can hit me with that.
No, well, I wouldn't expect them to hit you. I think you just know when it's Yankee time, it's go time.
It's clean-shaven time.
That's right.
Interesting. 1-800-919-3776. Speaking of the Yankees, Henry in South Carolina wants to talk about some Yankee hypotheticals. What's up, Henry?
Michael, if I may, you found the through line to Babs, to Taylor Swift, to Machine Gun Kelly, and that's me. So
thank you.
The show is for me. I am very musically literate, and we are out here, and we are happy to be represented. Okay?
I love it. Thank you, Henry.
Of course. And further jumping off of the Boog thing, 2 hours of you and Boog, not bad. And he is pretty cool. He's the voice of MLB The Show, the video game.
That's right. Much to my jealousy, because my son loves that game. And he goes, were you ever the voice of, and I was the voice of MLB 94 with John Sterling. But Boog does have that gig that I would love to have. Very jealous, Henry. Very jealous.
Oh, I had 94, and I know I'm detracting. I'm sorry, but you're an unlockable. The Sia is an unlockable in the game, so that's also pretty cool. I'm just adding on top of it.
What's an unlockable? Explain that to me. What does that mean, unlockable?
Okay, so since you'll have me, so if you play the game enough, you kind of develop experience points. So if you're kind of playing with a franchise or against other people online, you can acquire experience points, and you can kind of use these points to buy different little perks within the game. And you can have Boog say different things, and there's a lot of classic calls. John Sterling's call is in there, and so Boog has his own take on the Sia call, and that's an unlockable in the game. So when somebody hits like a no-doubt home run, you can have him do the "there it goes, Sia."
Really?
Something you have to work for to the game. Yeah.
You know what, Henry? Not a dime for the Caster, though. Not a dime. And I'm sure Boog got paid for it.
I'm certain he did. Unfortunately, I'm not surprised. There's no disrespect to the Rodney Dangerfield of broadcast.
It's sad. It really is. What else you have, Henry?
Well, back to the original point. You guys were talking about the Tucker-Bellinger conundrum, and certainly a lot of it's going to have to come down to money, but there's going to be a lot of other moving pieces there, too. And I sense that there might be a logjam in the outfield, because I feel like Ben Rice is your first baseman, no? So
I would agree.
Even if you – yeah, so if Ben Rice is going to be the first baseman moving forward, and I think that he should, I think that a right-handed catcher is necessary to platoon with Wells, not Real Muto, despite the internet thinking that that's a good idea. But I'm just wondering, if you're the GM, in fantasy world, who do you go with? Let's say money's not really a factor here. Who do you feel more comfortable going with?
Well, I'll throw this at you, Henry, because I think this is a conundrum. If you want to go toward Tucker, you can't keep jerking around Aaron Judge, putting him in center field, moving him to left. So Tucker's going to have to play left field. I'm not sure he's going to be good in left field at Yankee Stadium. So that's a concern of mine. Now, in terms of pure player, the type of player, Tucker's better than Bellinger. But the amount of money difference, I don't think he's that much better. I think he's better.
I agree.
But I don't think like you're going to have to pay $500 million for Tucker over however many years, and I'd be surprised if you have to get to $200 million for Bellinger.
I agree with that, and I also feel like at that point you are then kind of moving on a bit from Jason Dominguez, and you could be moving on from the idea of Spencer Jones. And if we are going to do that, they are going to do that, then they should package them and maybe find some pitching help since everybody seems to be injured moving into the next year.
Well, I will put it this way with Jones, and I was talking to a friend of mine driving in. I'd be very surprised if Spencer Jones is given any run with the Yankees ever. I really am. I would be really surprised because he just strikes out in an inordinate amount of time. And he has so much swing and miss in his game. There's power there, but this is a guy who's going to strike out if let's say you gave him 600 at-bats, a full run in the major leagues, he's going to strike out 230 times unless there's some drastic change during the offseason. So what does that make him? Pretty good outfielder. He's got good speed, tremendous power, strikes out a tremendous amount of time. Makes him Joey Gallo. So I'd be surprised if Spencer Jones is not dealt. Because everybody's talking about, well, if they don't bring back Grisham or Bellinger, then you put Dominguez in left and Spencer Jones in center. I would be absolutely stunned if that happens. I'll admit it. I'd be the first to, hey, I had that read wrong. But this guy had a really good minor league season. Was there ever any thought of calling him up? I don't think so. Is there ever really a solid thought that he's going to make the 2026 Yankees? I don't think so. Again, I'm not privy to what goes on behind closed doors. Maybe they have other plans. All I know is I look at the under-the-hood statistics, not just the strikeouts, the swing and miss ability on balls in the strike zone. It's concerning. Now, you could say, well, Aaron Judge was that way too, and he still strikes out a lot. Let's see Spencer Jones become Aaron Judge. And what's the one thing the Yankees have to improve on this year? Stop striking out so much. Now, you live with Judge's strikeouts because he's a 300 hitter, won a batting title, and he's going to hit you 53, 55 home runs, seemingly every year. You live with it. Stanton strikes out an awful lot too. And you live with that because he's going to give you power. Volpe strikes out an awful lot. You can't live with that. You've got to give me a tremendous amount of home runs if you're going to strike out that much. Volpe's giving you 19 to 20. You can't strike out that much. And there's a lot of strikeouts in that order. They can't bring in another guy who's going to strike out over 200 times. Because when does it show up? It shows up in the postseason. You're not going to put the ball in play. You're not going to foul pitches off. What makes the Blue Jays such a tough out? They struck out a lot yesterday, but they don't strike out that much, and they make pitchers work. I hope that's the thing that all teams take from the Blue Jays' rise to the World Series. Let's get more contact in the order. Not shy away from home runs, but guys that hit home runs like Bellinger that don't strike out that much, that have a two-strike approach. I'll take Bellinger with his 29 to 32 home runs with not as many strikeouts, rather than Volpe with all of his strikeouts and low on-base percentage and under 20 home runs. I think it's hard to win that way. I really think it's hard to win that way. Hey, ESPN New York, giving you the chance to experience UFC 322 at Madison Square Garden. That's on November 15th. One grand prize winner and a guest will score tickets to the ESPN New York suite hosted by the lovely and talented Peter Rosenberg. Enjoy the energy of the Garden, the comfort of a private suite, and world-class UFC action alongside one of New York's biggest sports personalities. Wait, I thought they said Peter's going to do this. One of New York's biggest sport. Tom, is this a misprint?
I don't believe so.
So I read that right.
Oh, that's right.
We're calling Peter Rosenberg one of New York's biggest sports personalities.
Not physically.
Ray, does that sound right to you?
I think he's one of the biggest sports personalities.
Really?
I mean, there's a certain person he had to ride to get there.
Right.
But he's gotten there.
Maybe I'm still on that Streisand train, so I just don't know the young stuff. Hey, to enter, find the contest tile on the ESPN New York app to submit your entry. It's brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer of UFC. When we come back, we finish with you, the co-host, 1-800-919-3776. Everything's on the table. We'll talk to you next right here on the K Show, ESPN New York.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
All your favorite NBA players are back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. With more markets open for more of the game, DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is live when others aren't. New customers, bet just $5 and get 3 months of NBA League Pass. Plus, score $300 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ. Bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass, plus get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Dave Rothenberg here to tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. Now, they converted my kids' bathtub to a shower and did an incredible, really an unbelievable job. They offer all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit done in just 1 day. Durable and easy to clean with no demo or mess and lower cost than a standard replacement. And a lifetime guarantee. Right now, no money down, no payments, no interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today like we did at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bathfitter.
Score or win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Kids, KARS Cars for Kids, 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey girl, I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager. Hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check Kirk Herbstreit's pregame analysis first, before talking to your brother-in-law.
In this game, the key thing to watch will be the offensive line versus the front seven. If they can get pressure without blitzing, this could be a long night.
Okay, Kirk.
I know stuff.
Ooh, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope. It's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Welcome back to the show. It's been a fun 2 hours. Game 4 tonight of the World Series. Blue Jays trailing 2-1. A lot of firings in college football this year. Latest one being Brian Kelly of LSU. I got to tell you, I don't know Brian Kelly from a hole in the wall, other than what I read about him and when I watch clips of him. He kind of is a guy that kind of rubs you the wrong way. I don't know if you all feel like that. He's not a guy that you'd like really want in the foxhole with you. He's just an odd bird. And to pay him like $54 million to go away. Wow. Unbelievable the amount of money that college coaches are being made to go away. Franklin got under $50 million. Kelly could be over 50, but some say he might accept 20, which I don't understand why he'd accept 20 if he's owed 54. Lane Kiffin, though, is the guy who's going to make the most money because there aren't that many great college football coaches out there. Lane Kiffin, what he's done in Ole Miss, obviously unbelievable. And he can get whatever he wants from anybody. Florida, LSU, Penn State. I mean, anybody. He can go anywhere he wants. Or he could stay at Ole Miss. Kiffin said he never made a decision based on money.
I have never made a decision based off of money, nor will I. And
Love that.
For a lot of people, they're just like, well, money and it does this and does that. I've seen too many examples in life where money does not buy happiness. So I am never going to make a decision off of money, nor do I care about it.
Well, that was on the Pat McAfee show. Now, for the most part, I hear what Lane Kiffin's saying. Money doesn't buy happiness. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It goes a long way, though. It might not give you total bliss, but if you have your health and your family has health and you have money, tell me it doesn't go a long way toward making you happier. Now, he could say that. I never made a decision based on money. But let's say he made $2 million a year at Ole Miss where he's just elated. And the people at Florida or LSU offer him $20 million a year. Really? You're going to turn that down? So you can say I never made a decision based on money when maybe you're making $9 million at Ole Miss and LSU might offer you 11. What's $2 million after taxes? It's about $1 million. So then you could stand proud and say I never made a decision based on money. And money doesn't buy happiness. I'm going to push back. Again, if you and your family have health, money goes a long way toward you being happy. Long way. Let's go to Ryan in Ronkonkoma. What's up, Ryan?
Hi, Michael. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. For the record, I also know who Barbra Streisand is, and
Thank you, Ryan.
love her music too. So I want to just talk about the intentional walk debate.
Okay.
And here I have two possible solutions. Baseball is really tough because it's the only sport where the offense doesn't have control of the ball.
Yep.
So my one thing is either you could ban all intentional walks after the ninth inning or later, which is okay, but that's not my favorite. My second one is, what if they come up with like a veto system or a challenge for the team up at bat? So when Schneider holds up those four fingers, Dave Roberts can go, no, not this time, because I have I'm vetoing it, like maybe 2 or 3, because I like that because it also doesn't take the intentional walk out of the game completely. So I think that's kind of like I don't know, one of your thoughts on that.
Ryan, I don't hate it. It's kind of clever. I think you're going to need more than one veto. And really, how many times do people get intentionally walk? You're essentially going to call it the Ohtani judge rule. If you can give a manager 2 vetoes, something like that, no, you're not going to vote it. I just think that the easy thing is you can vote. You can intentionally walk a guy once. You have to pick the time that you want to walk him. If it's in the ninth inning, and you have to really assiduously use that. and choose when you're going to walk that guy. Because it might come later in the game where, you know what? I really don't want to pitch to him right now, but there's a way around that. You just pitch around him without holding up four fingers. But I don't mind the veto thing. I think it's kind of fun. Let's go to Jay in Ontario. Jay.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Jay?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, talking about how the Japanese market kind of, the Dodgers own it right now. Do you think that's because the Yankees brand diminished a little bit? You think the Dodgers, their success that they've taken over, the supreme organization?
I don't know, Jay. I'm not trying to protect the Yankees that their brand is diminished. I don't think their brand is diminished that much, if at all. I think it comes down to geography. I think it's hard to battle the weather in L.A., and it's hard to battle the proximity of L.A. to Japan. You know, you can't say the Yankee brand has been diminished when, you know, Matsui had an unbelievable experience here. Won the World Series MVP, won a World Series, and still lives in the area that he loves so much. Didn't go back and move to Japan, back to Japan. He lives in the area to this day. Tanaka had a wonderful experience as well. I think it comes down to proximity and weather. I remember the Yankees were making a pitch to Yamamoto. I was told this story. And they were meeting him on the roof of a hotel in L.A., and it was a gorgeous L.A. day. And Brian Cashman was sitting there with the brass of the Yankees and said something, how do we counteract this weather? I mean, what's our counter? Money's not going to buy different weather. So there's weather, there's proximity, there's the fact that Ohtani chose the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are, you know, a worldwide brand, and Ohtani is a god in Japan, and probably every Japanese player wants to play with Ohtani. So there's so many advantages that the Dodgers have now. But the one thing that other teams can't compete with and have the money of the Dodgers is the weather and the proximity to Japan. San Diego could, but they're not throwing around that money. The Angels could. They're not throwing around that money. They're just not. So I think it's the L.A. weather and where L.A. is in conjunction to Japan. The trip from Japan to New York is 5.5 hours longer than the trip from Japan to L.A. That could be the difference. Don Hahn and Rosenberg coming up. Going to be fun. We'll talk to you again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Can't wait for that. Thank you for spending 2 hours with me. I love it every single day from 1 to 3. And in the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for a goodbye again. See everybody. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November